Hello, Flosstube from Pennsylvania. Here's Katie.
Hi everyone, Happy New Year. This is my Flosstube Extra, my 2023 WIP parade, and I'm being joined by my wonderful husband, Alex. He's gonna be my Vanna White today and help sort through all my projects. So we're just gonna kind of dive straight in. I have 27 WIPs that I worked on this year, or I think I worked on most of them. There might be a couple that I didn't get to, but I have 27 WIPs, and I plan on doing a winter of WIPs because that's quite a lot of projects I have going on and I want to get some done. So over the next few months, while Alex is busy in tax season land, I will be spending a lot of time stitching and trying to get some progress on these projects.
You ready?
Yep.
Okay,
let's go.
let's get started.
So first one I'm going to show you is Pink Sparrow Sampler by Brenda Gervais. I started this one in September, and this was part of a stitch along with Cross Stitch Kate, and I just think this one is so springy and has beautiful colors, so it's been fun to stitch on. And I am stitching this one on a 40 count winter white by Seraphim 1/2, and actually the pattern calls for some Fancy Floss that I didn't have, so I did my own DMC conversion, which I think is coming along pretty well. Not too much progress on this one, but hoping to get more stitches in the spring because I think it's very springy to me. So that's WIP number 1.
Great. Looks nice.
Thank you. He has no idea what to expect. I don't think he's seen even like half of these.
No,
so.
I don't know what any of these are. You don't?
And he doesn't, I don't even know if he understands.
I got it. I understand.
Do you?
Sort of.
Okay. The next one I'm working on, or I was working on this year, is This Joyous Season by Plum Street Samplers. I really like this one with Repeat the Sounding Joy, From Joy to the World. Very Christmassy, so I probably won't get back to this one until later in the year, but I've been enjoying stitching on this one. And I started this also as part of a SAL with Mrs. Jones Stitches, and Stitching is Elementary. And so this one is on 36 count Steinbeck. And I did make okay progress. I'm using the called for floss. I think it's Classic Color Works in Weeks probably. And I've got some of the words up at the top there, and then starting on one of those berries. And I really like 36 count Steinbeck, so you'll see this fabric pop up a lot. So that's This Joyous Season. And I did get project bags for all of my projects. These ones from Amazon, cheap, and keeps everything organized, so they're good to have.
There are many bags here.
There are many bags. And also, just to show you to keep track of all my projects, so if I look down, I'm flipping through this. I got this cross-stitch journal last year from Fat Quarter Shop. So it has like a table of contents in the beginning where you can write down all of your WIPs. You can put about 50 in here, which I'm actually getting close to filling this out. And then each page you can put the name of your WIP, pattern, start date, all of that good stuff.
Do you keep track of your time on one of those?
I did for some of them, but not for all of them. I just forget to, and even when I'm stitching at night, I'm not really paying attention to like how long I'm stitching for. I don't really time myself. Some people do track their time, and some people even use like apps where you can track how many stitches. So you can say like I sat and I stitched for an hour and I did 100 stitches or whatever it might be. But I have not gotten that into the data.
Not that advanced.
Yeah. So the next one is one of, or maybe the oldest WIP I worked on. This is September Quaker. I started this for my birthday last year. My birthday, September 11th. And I changed the colors of this one to blues because blue is my favorite color and sapphire is my birthstone. And this is on a 25 count vintage Country Mocha. And this one actually has quite a bit of progress on it. So that's that one with all kinds of shades of blue. And I think if I work on this one, especially since it's a 25 count, I can get it done pretty quickly. So this one will get done hopefully early this year. And it's just fun for my birthday.
It looks nice. Yeah. Many shades of blue.
Mm-hmm. You like blue too, don't you?
Of course.
And then let's see. These are not in any kind of order. So the next one is 3 Jacks and Cat. This is by Stitches by Ethel. We got this not this past year, but 2 years ago when we went to Hodgepodge for my birthday in Lancaster. And this kind of looks like my Scout. She's black and white, but I like kitties, and it's a fun little Halloween stitch. And then this one is on a, ooh, I gotta look this one up. Give me 1 second. Why don't you talk about this? What do you think of the cat?
It looks like a black cat with green eyes and a pink nose and a pink ears
Okay.
and an orange collar and a moon with a smiley face
Yeah.
and a star or a snowflake.
I think they're stars. Star snowflakes. Okay, so this is on 32 count raw Belfast linen. And that's the progress so far. And I think I had mentioned in one of my videos that the cat, I thought, looks black on here. And he's actually stitched in like a really dark brown. So I had asked whether I should switch it to black or keep it brown, but everybody thought the brown was nice. So, and then I would have to like basically start over. So I decided to keep it. And again, he's a really small one. So if I spend some focus time on that one, I can get that done. So that's a cute one for Halloween.
Uh-oh.
Why are we uh-ohing?
This looks big.
It's not too big. So this is another fall one. This is Autumn is a Second Spring by Annie B's Folk Art. I actually worked on this one when I was at the Cross Stitch Retreat in October. I just like the little quote. It says, autumn is a second spring when every leaf is a flower. And I just thought that was pretty with the blue house. And I'm stitching that one on a 32 count Cream and Sugar by Fiber on a Whim. And I mostly got the house done, which is some of the biggest stitching for this one. So that's my progress on that one. Coming along pretty good. And I actually used a blend of 2 colors on the house because I couldn't find a blue that I liked in DMC. So you use 2 strands and you use 1 strand of one color and 1 strand of another color. Kind of create some texture, a different color.
Interesting.
You can only do that if you're using 2 strands. So 2 over 2 for this one on 32 count.
Okay.
So the count is like how far apart the holes are, basically, like how big the little squares are. And when they get really close together, you can only do 1 strand of floss, or like it just gets too thick and it's too much going
So you got 2.
So this one is 2 because it's like a 32 count, so you can actually put
More
2
space.
strands, more space. Yep. And then that'll determine how big your finished project is too.
You mean the size for the whole thing?
Yep. Which is why, like, for really big projects, a lot of people, not everyone, but some people do it on like 36 or 40 count because then it's not like super huge. This is a big one. But this one I want to make some good progress on because I would like to hang this in our house. And this one is This Is the Day. Just want to double check what fabric I'm stitching this one on. Okay, I did not write it down, but whatever. Sometimes I don't write the fabric down. But this is Plum Street Samplers. This is the day. And I like this quote. This is the day that the Lord hath made. We will rejoice and be glad in it. With that fun house that will take forever because there's a lot of color changes in the pink house. But this one's fun. It's on a 40 count. Kind of just a neutral off-white. So I don't remember exactly what fabric I'm using. Actually, you know what? I'm using the called for. Alex, you can hold that up for a second while I look for the called for. Really not a lot of progress done on this one. So this is 36 count Barb's blend, but I think I'm doing 40 count. So that's the progress so far. But I like the pinks. I like this teal door. And I think that one will be pretty for us with a nice quote. So that's Plum Street Samplers. This is the day. And that's just DMC, which I think is the called for.
What percentage of the time do you go off called for, off script?
I did it a few more times this fall because we were buying a house and planning the wedding and what they call Fancy Floss. There's like, you know, the floss packs. I get floss packs from that quarter shop every month for Classic Color Works. That's fancier floss. Those are probably for each color like $2.50, whereas DMC is like 60 cents. And if you get a coupon for like Michael's or they're on sale, it's even cheaper. So like using a lot of designers more and more offer either Fancy Floss or DMC. So because DMC is just cheaper, it's easier to access. You can go to Joann's, Michael's, Hobby Lobby, whereas the other stuff you most likely have to order online or have a needlework shop near you. I guess the thing with Fancy Floss is usually it's what's called variegated. So the color goes from like light to dark. So you get nice contrast, and then they just have a larger variety of different kinds of colors as compared to DMC.
Good to know.
Yeah. So this next one is Spring Quaker by Lila Studio. This is a huge one. I have no idea how long it will take me to do. I thought it was really pretty, and then I stitched on it, and I just realized it's a bear of a project, but it's really cute, so we'll see how it goes. And Alex is going to hold that up while I double check on my fabric for that one.
It looks nice.
And this was also part of a Sal. The Huga Stitcher started this one this past spring or this past winter, kind of just to look forward to the spring and work on something springy. So this is on just a 32 count antique ivory, and this is also using DMC. So pretty good progress on that one, all things considered. I think if I had gone back in time, I would have done this on like a 36 or 40 count because it's going to be pretty big. But I'm liking how it's turning out.
What does DMC stand for?
I don't actually know. If any of you know, let us know. It's a company. I think they're based in the US.
That's just the type of the brand thing?
It's the brand name, but I
So
don't know what it stands for.
There's DMC and there's Fancy Floss.
Well, Fancy Floss is just, that's what you just call it. There's various companies or dyers who do the Fancy Floss. Classic Colorworks, Color and Cotton is big, Weeks Dye Works. There's all different companies. And more, I think a lot of what you hear from people who've been stitching a long time is that back in like the 90s, you would only really have DMC. You would only have like very basic colored fabric, usually just white. And there wasn't like online, there weren't PDF patterns where you could go online. So like cross stitch has evolved a lot, it seems, in the past 10, 20 years.
Interesting.
So this next one is very close to getting done. So I definitely want to make progress on this. I stitched a lot of this during the cross stitch retreat in Philly in October, Sweater Wetter retreat, which they're having again next year or this year. So I might go again in October because that was a lot of fun, and a bunch of the girls I sat at a table with said they were interested in going back. So this is Teresa Kogut's Whimsy Witches Angry House. It's a very cute Halloween one. Everyone was stopping by and asking me about this one when I was stitching it at the retreat. This is on a 36 count cappuccino by Fiber on a Whim. And it's really coming along. She's almost done. She got a big dress. Everybody was like, you're going to finish it at the retreat. And I was like, nah, she's got big hips. It's going to take a while. So I did change out the color of her dress. I think initially Teresa had called for like a gray color. And I actually chose, can you grab that? I chose a Fancy Floss for that one, more of a purple. And it's Argyle Socks from Classic Colorworks. Which it's kind of messy. But now you can see that like, it's like darker and lighter, like various shades in that. So that's why people like it.
Gotcha.
So
is the Fancy Floss more challenging to use? Is it the same?
I don't think it's more challenging, but if it's changing color, I don't know if I always quite do it right. I don't know that you necessarily always have to have it be linear, light to dark, light to dark. It's kind of, I think it looks more fun when it's just kind of all over the place.
It does. If you
Some
look closely,
people, like, they call it, like, I guess, fussy cutting, where they'll actually look at where it's darker or lighter and truly try to make it go from dark to light in a specific pattern or order. I don't do that because that's probably more work than I'm willing to do. So
it almost looks striped. It looks nice. It almost looks sort of striped.
Add some texture, some different look to things. And then now we got a Christmas. This is a tiny one, which I should have finished this Christmas, but we did get married. So this is a Prairie Schooler, Snowy Night. And it's this one. Prairie Schooler comes out with a Santa almost every year, and they have since like 1980. I think there's like 40 of them by now, maybe more, probably more. So this is their 2023 Snowy Night. This is on a 40 count Belfast natural raw linen using called for DMC. And at least I got most of Santa done, so he's getting there. But again, I don't know if I'll want to stitch Christmas right away since it just ended. But some people said they stitch Christmas on the 25th of every year, or every month, just to like, to make progress on a Christmas stitch, even when it's August or July or whatever. So maybe I'll do that with him, and then I could maybe finish him by next Christmas.
How do you decide on a given night what I'm gonna stitch?
Mostly just depends what I'm in the mood for. One thing that people do is WIP go. It's like a WIP version of bingo. There's a Flosstuber, Jessie Marie does stuff. You create a bingo board. On each square, you put a different WIP, and then she calls at the beginning of the month 1 and 5, and say I had that Santa as in the number 1 square, and then Spring Quaker in the number 5. I would give myself a goal, maybe stitch on each of those 5 hours. And so that could get kind of determined in that month, like at least for those 2 projects that I would want to work on them. I'm not going to do that this year. I have to see with my winter of WIPs if I want to like maybe put all the names of them in a jar and pick them out, or just stitch what I want, but then might not make progress on some or others. So I have to figure out what I want to do. But sometimes it's just what I'm in the mood to stitch on.
I feel like you need a spreadsheet.
Probably. He's a big spreadsheet person.
She needs a spreadsheet.
Okay.
This one doesn't have.
It doesn't have a. This is a PDF.
Oh, okay.
And if you see, just pull. There's some little floss on there. So this one is Baneberry. This is a PDF. This is Carolyn Manning. Yes, Carolyn Manning Designs. This is on a 32 count. He's holding it sideways. That's okay. He doesn't know. He doesn't know. Yeah. This is on a 32 count star sapphire linen. This was part of the Manning May sal. So in May, Bridge in the Museum Stitcher. And I'm going to blank on some of the other ladies who were working on this, but they just said pick a Carolyn Manning and work on it in May. And so that's the progress I made on this one. This fabric is actually kind of weird and stiff, but I like the color, so I'm going to keep going with it. And this one's just kind of different. I think that's pretty. So, and I'll put the PDF picture probably up here somewhere.
Do you prefer PDF or paper?
PDF is sometimes easier. One of the reasons I want us to get a printer, because we don't have one, is so I can photocopy, because you don't want to like mark up or draw on your pattern, but you want to kind of, these might all be PDFs in here. Okay. You don't want to mark on the actual pattern in case when you're finished you want to give it away, or I do giveaways on my channel or donate it. But then you kind of sometimes want to, mark off where you are on the pattern. So you'd want to photocopy it. So in that case, PDFs are easier because you're just doing it on the computer. You don't need to make a photocopy. You can just mark it up on the computer. But I look at computers all day, so sometimes it's nice to have the paper copy so I'm not watching TV and staring at another screen for another couple hours after looking at the computer at work all day. Gotcha. So this one, a lot of you like this one, and I have not made I've made no progress on it since you last saw it. Well, he can hold it up. It's poinsettias and pine. I'm pretty sure I did this on Steinbeck. I'm like 99.9% sure I did. 36 count Steinbeck. This is Blue Ribbon Designs. This was part of Lauren, New Hampshire Stitcher's Back to School Sal. That means big ass project. So in the fall, in the start of the school year, she said like pick a really big project and work on it. This one's going to be pretty big. You don't know what it looks like because he hasn't seen the PDF, but it's sizable. I mean, it's not going to fill up this whole thing, but it'll be pretty big.
She's short though, but
hey, it's not untrue though.
I'm just trying to give it some context.
And I did my own conversion for this one. I think it used Belsois. Those are silks. It's actually like silk floss. Those are like $6 or $7 a skein, depending. So that's like extra pricey. So I actually did this in Classic Colorworks since I get that floss fix every month. I did a conversion. I converted it to Classic Colorworks colors.
All right, I'll have some questions, follow-up questions later.
Okay. And so that's poinsettias and pines. And I made no progress on that one, but I do like it, so I gotta get back to that. And then this is my most recent start. This is Berries in Bloom by Hands On Design. This was free, a free PDF pattern that she released for Christmas last year. I had started it last year on a different fabric, and I didn't like it. So I redid it on this 16 count Ada. It's Earl Grey by Grace Notes. And again, using my own colors, I brightened it up a little bit. She had more kind of darker, more muted Christmas colors. I did like slightly more pastels with a sparkly for Mary. So that's Berries in Bloom. Next one is another Christmas one. This whole bag is Christmas. This is a bit older, and I did not work on it this year. And there's floss on it. This was part of a stitch along last year. It's a free pattern, and this is called The Joy of Winter by Stitches Through the Years. Started at December 2022. Didn't have a chance to work on it this year, or last year. I don't even know what day it is. So I'll get back to it, but this is on a 32 count Lugana, just using DMC. I think that's pretty. And that's everything for that Christmas bag. You getting tired yet?
No, I'm good. I have stamina, don't worry.
We can speed up if you need to.
No, we're good.
This one I also didn't work on much this year. Christmas time was too busy to do too much stitching this year, but Christmas Rules by Primrose Cottage Stitches. It's fun. It says, Christmas rules: deck the halls, drink hot chocolate, hang your stocking, build a snowman, spread joy, go sledding, and believe. We have not had any snow this year, though. And so this one I'm doing on a 30 count mystery fabric. I got this at like my local needlework store has been doing sidewalk sales where you pay a certain amount and you fill a bag with stuff. And so this picked up this fabric. So I don't know what the color is. It's just a beige. And that's how far I've gotten. So not too much done, but it's pretty easy stitching. Primrose Cottage patterns are fairly straightforward, pretty simple. So try to make some more progress on that this year. We got like a pile and a half left. And I've not been keeping track. I should do like a little counter and it's like ding, WIP number, whatever. Another Christmas. This one is Christmas Delivery. I started this last year. I really like this one. I like that Santa. I know Sarah from Sarah's Stitchy Spot is working on this one too. She actually started with the Santa and I started over here, so it's cool. You can see her stitching this part and me stitching over here. And this is Cottage Garden Samplings. So this is kind of full coverage-esque. Like this is all stitching. So
you're saying this whole thing will be covered in stitches?
At least for the sleigh. This is just the fabric back here where the snowflakes are. But
you're saying most of it will be covered.
This part, yeah, this is all stitching. Yeah. So this is on just a 40 count. Nope, 32 count Vintage Stormy Night Lugana. And this is where I'm at. Most recently I worked on this part of the sleigh. This was a little fussy with the counting. I think I had to pull it out a couple times because I miscounted. So you do have to kind of pay attention because if you put a stitch in the wrong place, it can mess it up. You gotta rip it out and try again. But some progress on that. I gotta make more time for this one. I gotta make more time for all of these.
What is your next must stitch?
I don't know. Again, I'm gonna try to not start anything new and just focus on my WIPs for now. Though Cottage Garden Sampling started like a house series. So some designers do series. You can like pre-order them and get them every time they come out. And so their first one, it's right there, was like a Santa's house. So it was, like it looked like what Santa's house would look like. And then the one for January or February is a castle. So I kind of like that one. So that's on the list, but I probably won't start it anytime soon. Next one, I did a Sal that I sadly did not keep up with. Luminous Fiber Arts Enchanted Quaker. It's a really fun Halloween one. all these are called motifs, like different little designs. So all these little motifs. And I'm doing it on gray and black, but with pops of color. Kind of make it more fun. I also worked on this a little bit at the retreat. No, I didn't. I wanted to bring it to the retreat and I forgot it. So and I'm just using Classic Colorworks. So I did like a Classic Colorworks red. I'm gonna do Cauldron in green. This is on a 40 count slate by Fiber on a Whim. And that's my progress on that one. I think this one's gonna come out really cool. Very Halloween. I like Halloween. And I like Misty, the designer here. I told you she is a professor at Penn State. And I went to Penn State, so I like stitching her things. She's cool.
Does she teach cross stitch or what does she teach?
No, I actually don't know what she teaches. Computer science is where I went wrong. Maybe design or I'm not sure actually. This next one's a PDF. This is The Wizard of Oz by, I need to look up who this is. It's like the Little Stitcher or something like that. That one's like really close to being done. I should just finish that because it won't take that long. You've seen The Wizard of Oz, right?
Yes.
It's a good movie. I didn't write it down. I'll put the name of the designer at the bottom, but this is on a 36 count Milk and Honey by Fiber on a Whim, and it's getting there. I got Dorothy, I got the Scarecrow, I just need the Tin Man and the Lion and it's done. So really not a ton of stitching to do, and this is just DMC. I was a munchkin in our 8th grade production of The Wizard of Oz. So.
You mean you were the star of the show, right?
Yes, thank you.
She can sing. Trust
No,
me.
I can't.
Trust me.
No, he says I can sing, but I've been told my whole life I'm tone deaf, so maybe
I don't believe that.
he doesn't believe it. Okay. The next one, Alex, can maybe hold this up while I look for this is Blessings Be More. I just have to remember what fabric. That's the hardest thing to remember is what fabric, because there's so many different kinds. I didn't write it down. I think it's one of the vintage ones, like vintage Foggy Day or something like that. I don't know. Anyway, I'm Irish. I studied abroad in Ireland, and so I started this on St. Patrick's Day. I thought it was cute, and I liked the quote. Old Irish saying of, may your trouble be less and your blessings be more, and nothing but happiness come through your door. So it's a cute one to celebrate my Irish heritage. And this is like vintage cloudy day or, something like that. This I'm using the called for their Classic Colorworks, and that's the progress I made on that one. I think this is the 32 count. So it's 2 over 2. So that's Blessings Be More. As you can see, a lot of these definitely need attention, which is why I'm not going to start anything for a while. Oops. Sorry about that. We're getting there. I only got this one and then one pile left. And this one is A Sweeter Love, and I started this the day we got engaged.
Really?
Yep, this is our engagement stitch.
What happened?
What?
Nothing.
What are you gonna say? This is Plum Street Samplers. This is an old pattern back in the day when they actually couldn't print the picture, so they took a picture of the stitching and taped it on.
Is it like a Kodak?
Yeah, like a Kodak. So it's 2 houses becoming one. See? And it says, if I climb the highest mountain or crossed all land and sea, I can never find a sweeter love than thou hast given me. Isn't that cute? I like that one. This is going to take me forever because it's gigantic. This is on a 40 count, so this is like, see, it's real small stitches. Real little stitches. 40 count Vintage Country Mocha using the called for DMC. Started it on April 2nd, 2023. Now we're married. So I didn't finish it before we got married, but that was not going to happen no matter what. And I also realized that this part, this is all 1 over 2, but then there's 1 over 1, which is like stitches that are like that.
How do you do that?
So I realized that 1 over 1 on 40 count was dumb, and I didn't realize that there was 1 over 1 when I chose this size fabric. So what you can do is what's called a half stitch or a tent stitch. So you just do 1 leg. You don't make the full square. You just do 1, and that makes it a little bit easier and less full. he doesn't understand. But that's what I'm doing. I'm doing tent stitch for some of the 1/1 to make it easier.
I don't understand how you do any of this.
And that one I'm using Fancy Floss. So, and then we got one pile left.
Or most of them.
This one's a PDF. This is Dancer by Barbara Anna. This is I subscribe to like a magazine that you get like digitally, and it has patterns in it. So this was part of that. This is on a 32 count Basalt Splash. It has like these white things that look like snow. And this is going to be just like a reindeer head, and he has little houses on his antlers.
Oh, I thought it was like a castle.
No, it's like Dancer the reindeer. So I'll just have some of his antler and a couple of the houses. So really not much progress on this one. This is kind of sad, but oh well.
I like the background.
It is cool, yeah. And that's DMC. It's the final countdown. The pattern is in there.
Ooh.
It's a thick one. It looks big, but it's not. No, it's pretty big. So this is Fractor Flowers. And actually, I don't have the thing, but Fractor, these kind of flowers are like a Pennsylvania Dutch kind of thing. Like a Pennsylvania Dutch painting motif. So that's kind of, I like them for that reason.
Okay.
And this was my birthday start this year. I like the colors. I like corals and teals. I thought that was pretty. And then it's just got the alphabet. So that's Kathy Barrick, Fractor Flowers. And let me double check the fabric. I know it's a 40 count. Paper Bark by Fox and Rabbit. And I'm just using the DMC. And just a little bit done. Some of the flowers up there. And a little bit of this border, which is kind of going to be a pain. Because it's super, super long. And it's like 4 rows. And like counting this and making sure you're counting the right number of all of these stitches is going to be kind of not fun. Sometimes what people do is they'll do 10 and then they'll like leave it blank or do a half stitch, and then you can kind of like keep track of how many you're doing or something. So I'll have to figure that out because that's like a lot to count. There's like hundreds of stitches. So we'll see.
How long does an average one take you to complete?
An average it depends on the size.
And if you were to take an average.
How long does it take you all to complete a project? You mean how many hours, I guess?
Yeah.
I would say at least 25 to 30.
25 to 30 to complete one project.
For one project, for something that's smaller too. Yeah. Like something like this, which is the next one, Winter Rose Manor, which if you follow me on Instagram, you've probably seen I've been stitching on this the last couple of days. This would probably take me like at least 100 hours, I think. Like, yeah. But I think that's one of the reasons why some people are monogamous and they only stitch one project at a time and just finish it. But then if you did that, like this is all you'd be stitching on for months. Like it would take you less time. Maybe it'd take me 2 months, but that's all I would get to stitch on. So
you like mixing it up.
You like mixing it up. And also to have a floss tube. If I just showed you this every single week, you'd be like, I'm not going to watch this channel anymore. This is boring. So, but Winter Rose Manor by Brenda Gervais, hugely popular. Almost everyone has probably stitched this one. This is a super, super popular one. And so this one, will you please hold it up while I remember the fabric? So this one has a lot of progress, and I've been working on that Cardinal, and we saw Cardinals today in our backyard. This is summer khaki linen. So I just chose this color because I thought it would work well. I'm using the Fancy Floss of Weeks Dye Works and Classic Color Works. And I think, can I grab this? I'm going to change the color of the house, and I know a lot of people have. It's Coral, I think, by Weeks Dye Works, and it's just very similar to the basket. And in the picture, it even looks like a bit more pink. We got a little bit of the glare. There we go. And this is just coming out more like peach, and so I might switch it up and do a different color for that. So I'll have to figure out what color I want to do, but I might want to switch that up. But pretty good progress. And it's got my old initials, KD, because I was working on this, last year, but my initials are now KM, so I'll have to start adding those to my cross stitch if I put my initials on it.
So you have to redo that?
No.
You're going to keep it?
I'm going to keep it. But going forward.
Going forward, gotcha.
And who got me this one?
It was me, I think. It must be me.
Yes. Alex got me this for Christmas last year. This is the Bookstore by Country Cottage Needleworks. It's super cute. I like the colors. So I was working on this one the past couple days too, so that does have some more recent progress. And this one, obviously, since you got it for me last year for Christmas, this is a slightly older one. It's on an 18 count beautiful beige Ada, and I'm using the Call for DMC, and I like that one. It's pretty. So that one will be easy to get some progress on.
Looks like most of the way there.
Yeah. A little less than halfway, but we're getting there. Okay. 3 bags left.
We're close.
We're close.
Home stretch.
Home stretch. This one I've been working on a lot this Christmas. This is Santa's Young Buck by Teresa Kogut. I really like Teresa Kogut's stuff. They look kind of like paintings. They're very cute. She does a very good job. And Santa's Young Buck is being stitched on.
That's the one you were working on the other day.
Mm-hmm. I finished the reindeer, got that snowman. Oh boy. Where's this one? Did I not write this down? I might not have written it down. Yeah, I think I forgot.
You were just that eager to work on it.
I think so. Unless I'm a little out of order here. Yeah, I think I didn't write it down in this because we've been so busy. I think it's a 32 count, like a platinum. It's just a Lugana, so it's either a platinum or a beige. DMC 2/2, and it's coming along pretty well. I'm liking stitching on this one, but Santa's a big boy, so he's gonna take some time. But that's that one. Okay, 2 left. You're doing great.
Thank you.
How's he doing? He's doing good, right? Your best Vanna White? This one is Oh Joyous Day. I was doing this as part of a SAL with Sarah Stitchy Spot and Bridget the Museum Stitcher. Blackbird designs are very, very popular, so this is my first Blackbird, and this is kind of a sampler, kind of more old-fashioned. It's got the alphabet, different motifs, a house.
What's a blackbird mean? Just that bird?
No.
Oh,
Blackbird Designs is just the
I just saw
pattern
bird.
maker, the people who design them. It's called Oh Joyous Day is the name of the pattern. So there's Oh Joyous Day. Is on 36 count Steinbeck by Needle and Flax. Using the Fancy Floss. And pretty good. It's getting there. Got all those flowers done at the top. This one will take a while too, but I think I'm definitely going to focus on getting this one done this year because I really like this one. And some of it's a little hard. There's like different stitches. There's satin stitch and rice stitch and a few other different kinds of stitches that aren't just a straight cross. Satin stitch goes up and down. A right stitch goes like all over the place.
Right stitch?
Rice.
Right stitch.
R-I-C-E.
Does it stand for something?
I don't know. I don't know why it's called that. Doesn't really look like rice. We're all gonna think I don't know what I'm talking about, but maybe you guys know why it's called a rice stitch. But anyway, that one's fun. I like that one. So that's Oh Joyous Day. And we got one more. Well, that might have 2 in it.
Oh, okay.
Got 2 more left. These are small ones though, I think. One of them is a PDF and one of them isn't. The blue one is not a PDF, it's in here. So this one is another Country Cottage Needleworks sunflower sampler. So it's just a little sunflower with a little alphabet. It should be really easy to do. I'm doing DMC, and this is on. You can pull the blue one out. Sunflower sampler. There it is, 27. Oh, we didn't write down. All right, this is on like a blue, the sticker is on here, isn't it? Oh, there we go. Blue Whisper Belfast, 32 count. So that one should be so quick to finish though. So I'll probably work on that. Maybe I'll finish it this month. Maybe that'll be a goal because this one's so tiny. That's Sunflower Sampler by Country Cottage Needleworks. And then one left, and this is a PDF. And I'm not going to remember what the entire quote is. Well, actually it's there. Just don't show that. But let me just look at that. You're not supposed to show the pattern because then people can screenshot it. But this one is from Chris, the Camping Stitcher. I like Chris. She has a floss tube and then she started designing. She's very nice. And so it says, now I sit down in my chair, my needle floss and fabric there. I stitch and calm my busy mind wherever I can find the time. So it's a stitching themed one. It's on a 40 count natural Belfast using her called for DMC. And it's just going to be a cute little one. And Chris has a lot of very cute patterns. And I think they're doing like a Sal. She came out with one recently for the new year. And so people are stitching that one. And that's it. We did it.
That wasn't
27.
many.
27's not too bad.
That's not a lot.
No. Some people have like 50, 60.
No. How do you keep track of them?
I don't know.
You need a spreadsheet already.
I need a spreadsheet.
This isn't enough.
This is not enough.
No.
No. I need a digital.
Yes.
All right. You want to make the spreadsheet for me?
I can.
No, I'm just kidding. I can do it.
I'll have to rewatch this video to figure out what's
No,
what.
it's okay. Any other last comments before we say goodbye?
Thanks for watching.
Okay. Thanks for watching, and I'll probably be back with more regular floss tubes in a couple weeks. Hopefully get a lot of stitching in now that the wedding's over. We're good with the house. Holidays are over. Be a lot more chill. Hopefully. We have some basement issues, but that's another story for another time. So thank you all for watching. Happy New Year, and we'll see you again soon.
Bye-bye.
Bye.